We're going to try to get through the first four in verse 19. Uh, and these are, in general, we could group these as the sexual works of the flesh, adultery, fornication, and so on. Um, I want to give a little definition to them and also want to look at why, just a little bit at least, time permitting, as far as why are these things displeasing to God, or at least what does God want us? How does God want us to live our lives instead? And so we'll look a little bit at um, marriage and some of those things in the last section. Now, one other thing in this list that's going to come up a couple times, it's about to come up right now, dealing with adultery, is there are a couple of textual problems in this list, and I don't um, talk about textual problems a ton, uh, at least not while teaching. But we do have to mention them here because in this case, you can actually plainly see it depending on which English translation you're looking at. And it actually winds up being the difference between whether or not to remove two of these words from the list. And one of them is adultery. So I do want to mention um, if you're looking at King James and New King James, those are going to include adultery in verse 19 and murders in verse 21. But the critical text and most of the modern translations will not actually have those. So if you're looking at your Bible and you don't see adultery in verse 19, you don't see murder in verse 21, that is the reason